I would just like to ask this question of as far as all the important natural
Oh, I
resources,
think
the
we're
ones that
done with
make the
this
world tick and the
subject,
global go.
Bandit. We're done with this
No,
subject. In Alaska, I know you're way behind on time there. You know, time difference and all. But yeah, we're done with the precious metal subject, please.
Bandit, before I get off this topic, I want you to compare prices of precious metals 5 years ago to the prices they are today. Just compare. You're going to see a massive differentiation, a huge one. Price
Right, and
skyrocketing.
that has to do with the fucking all the economies of the world, the writing being on the fucking wall. Okay, that's just people being smart enough to say buy commodities, buy commodities, buy commodities. So that's all that is. That was like when we had $160 a barrel oil. It wasn't because oil was worth $160 a barrel.
Where's gold at today? I think it's like 1350 closed today.
Right, and it was like 700. But yeah, that's going to fall too. So those people are all suckers in the end.
yeah, well, and not to harp on any of the precious metals, but I was going to say, as far as any any of the important resources, where are most of them located? They're not located in the Middle East. They're not located anywhere besides North America. And I'm not saying just the United States. I'm saying South America, saying up in Canada.
And I'm going to say you're a fucking
I
moron. Just
mean,
because a country lacks the infrastructure to be able to exploit a resource doesn't mean that it's not fucking present.
I say let's just build a replicator. For $3 trillion. Let's build one. Just one.
Anyway, I'm not sure where we're going with this. I mean, peak oil, we're either going to choose your metaphor, we're either going to fall off the edge of a fucking cliff or we're going to run into a concrete barricade. But this oil economy is coming to an end. It's over. We had 150 years, nice good run, and it's over. So we got to find something else.
It's just beginning. Hydrogen.
yeah, Gabriel, I would actually like you to tell me what continent on the globe has the most natural resources out of any other continent that actually will mean something in the next 50 years. Please, please enlighten me.
Exportable natural resources, well, that would be North America, because it's very rich in infrastructure which has the ability to exploit these. It doesn't mean that they're not present in other continents. Okay, just because you have the economic infrastructure to be able to mine a material or gather a material doesn't mean that you have more of it than another place. I don't think you understand how economics actually work.
Well, look,
Yeah, no way.
Actually
It's not
understand.
not America.
Actually have a
wait a
very
minute. It does
solid
get a
grasp of
little
economics, where
complicated.
you obviously
Isn't
don't.
because of the and North America does have a unique geology. Okay, so we did that whole we were the last ones to get the last ocean kind of thing to drift off of our continent. So it's a very low continent. It's so the resources are a lot more accessible here. Right. I mean, how far down do you go? You know what I mean? I mean, how deep is it practical to go to get copper, or how deep is it practical to go to get some other resource? So I mean, it's about the fact that we had the advantage of we had coal right on the surface. We had all this stuff right on the surface, where in Siberia it's not as accessible. They have more of it, but it's not as accessible. It's like Canada with all the oil shale. They have the oil, but it's in this shitty form that's not as accessible.
Right. To extract certain types of oil deposits, you have to burn more energy doing that than you get from the oil. Once we hit that point, I think then we are truly fucked.
Exactly, Blake,
And you
and
gotta
that's
figure.
why the Canadian oil sands aren't oil sands at all. At all, they're tar sands. Tar, a very low-grade bitumen. It's like asphalt mixed with sand, and the amount of energy it takes to get that fucking oil, burnable oil, out of that tar sand is a case of
Okay,
diminishing
so
returns.
let's just
Yeah,
say
and
in
you
the next
also have a
100 years.
refined problem. That the refined product is not going to be as you're not going to get gasoline out of that shit. You're going to get heating oil if you're lucky.
Right, well, let me just ask you guys this: do you think that if it's going to be cheaper for us to not just the United States, I'm saying for North America as a whole, to establish some type of technology to take oil sand and take the oil out of the sand, and it becomes cheaper for us to get it from there than to buy it from the Middle East? Do you think we're not going to be able to find the technology how to do it, or the technology doesn't already exist? Come on, give me a break, dude. It's all a fucking game.
No, look, I think the easier technology is the coal thing. I mean, I really think we ought to be able to do something about, being able to scrub coal. But that's they all. I don't want to fight these arguments forever about this whole energy policy thing. And if energy gets expensive enough, okay, it becomes practical to do this shit. But the point is it's going to get more expensive. No matter how you look at it, it will be more expensive, and not a little bit more, like twice as much or 3 times as much. And that's a huge knock on your fucking economy. I mean, we had a huge advantage when we had this free energy resource, and it's not free anymore. It was virtually free for a long time, and it's not free, and especially when the rest of the world wants it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's, we're importing. This is not a good circumstance.
Well, let me just ask you guys this, because you guys all are probably pretty educated people. Do you think if push came to shove, and let's just say that the Middle East said, okay, we're going to charge you guys so much more than every other country per barrel of and then you only have so many places that can refine it because you only have so many refineries. Are you telling me that if we really didn't want to, we couldn't say, all right, fuck you, Middle East, we're not going to buy any oil off you. We're not even going to use oil anymore. We're actually going to reestablish our country, and we're going to use fucking different means to run our vehicles, to run our airplanes, to run our infrastructure, everything else. And that's the way it's going to go, dude. That's the way it's going to go. And you know what's going to happen when it does that? The Middle East is going to fucking
no one's going to have a fucking job, so all this stuff is going to take even longer to take place. How do you fucking retool a country when everybody's unemployed?
That's a very good point,
We
Gary.
can
But right
do
now we're
that.
speaking
We
to
can do that. We can tell the Middle East to fuck off. We can tell Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates to fuck off, and we're not going to buy their oil anymore. But we cannot do that and maintain the same standard of living that we have now. The two are mutually incompatible.
And the people that think we're going to be using oil in 100 years are fucking idiots.
We start wearing parkas and chewing on seal blubber, and then we'll all be okay. We just have to diminish our expectations. No more chocolate chip cookies.
I love chocolate chip cookies, but if you guys think that we're going to still be using crude oil in a fucking 100 years from now,
who's talking about 100 fucking years from now? Who the fuck is talking about 100 years from now, you fucking moron? Who's going to be who the fuck on the we're going to be like 8-legged fucking cockroaches 100 years from now.
Bandit, you're speaking purely in hypotheticals, and if you want to talk extraction of oil shale in hypotheticals, yes, the Canadian government is putting many millions of dollars in research in reducing the cost of extracting oil shale, and they may very well make a breakthrough. Also, we can take a look at other materials, such as plastics from corn or plastics from hemp, as well as energy from these two particular pieces of produce that will allow us to move away from our dependency on oil. But at the moment, those are strictly hypotheticals.
No, they are hypotheticals. No, they are hypotheticals. These are things that the government and other people have already established that we can get energy in.
Solar energy is bullshit.
People just haven't put them into effect.
You're still playing a fucking game, though, that it doesn't matter. Like somehow, if you increase the price it takes to get to acquire this energy, okay, that somehow you don't have a diminishment in your life. No, your quality of life is completely dependent on the energy, and it was free and easily available for 150 fucking years. Well, that game is over. All right, so now it's not free anymore, and it's gonna tax our lifestyle. That's a fact.
They're hypotheticals because at the
No,
moment
the argument Gary's making right now is that
too much
we have fission nuclear power, but we shouldn't try to get fusion nuclear power because it's too hard and it's going to take too much energy and it's going to take too much money and this and that, and that's bullshit, dude. In another fucking 50 years, fusion is going to be the fucking norm.
Dream on. Dream the fuck
Nuclear
on.
reactors for the win.
Yeah, good fucking luck. Like I said, good luck. All right, you find a way to contain the sun on the Earth. Very good.
They've already found out how to do it. They're just trying to find out how to do it without taking as much energy. It's a lot cleaner, and they're just trying to do it how to find out how to do it cheaper and with less energy.
Cheaper, yeah, with least less energy. Right, exactly. Less energy to create a controlled plasma. It's just, I'm just saying, realistically, I don't think you're ever gonna be able to do that. We could do that right now with fission if that's all it wanted. Okay, we can sit there and let fission go uncontrolled. We can create a fission plasma, all right? But yeah, guess what? It won't do us any fucking good because the goddamn thing will melt down to the core of the fucking Earth. You don't.
That's my point.
You're gonna build a container,
no, that's
fucker.
my point. Fission
You're
is
not
dirty.
gonna build a
Fusion has
container.
no fallout, no dirt.
It has a fucking goddamn temperature higher than any material on Earth can withstand. So you're gonna need a nuclear power plant just to contain it. How the fuck are you gonna contain your fucking goddamn plasma, you moron?
The thing is, even with fission, there's only enough U-238 to last, if we mined all of it by present estimates, to last another 30 years. So we're still basically back to square fucking zero after that.
And if we replace what we use on oil with nuclear, it would take 7,000 nuclear power plants. All right, so obviously oil is providing a tremendous amount of fucking energy, and a lot of that energy is going into fertilizers, okay, which is making our goddamn food, and that we can't replace with something else. All right, we have to replace that with some kind of high energy source.
Well,
Exactly,
what you should do is
because
just
you don't
throw in
just
the
take the uranium out
fission
of the ground
caveat,
and
not
put it into a
fusion,
nuclear reactor.
fission.
There's more energy in it
We're
than
talking
uranium,
over one
but
another.
it's also
You don't just
more common.
take the uranium out of the ground and put it into a nuclear reactor. It has to be refined. And it takes, Gary just quoted one figure, but it takes like 6 coal-fired power plants to produce, you know, the amount of energy needed to refine the uranium to fuel one nuclear
And
power
to fuel
plant.
it in a
So
safe
it's
manner.
not a
That's the whole
panacea.
point. The point is you have to have a controlled reaction, okay? And this is a reaction we can control, but this you know, when you start, well, whatever, let's not get into it, but, you know, it would be really nice if that happens, okay? I'm not arguing against it. I mean, if we can, maybe we can find out, we drill a hole deep enough into the Earth, you know, who knows? You know, little pennies will come shooting out. You know, but whatever. Maybe we'll find some. Maybe we'll get lucky. But the point is, you can't count on it.
Gary, would you be actually up
take
the?
up to 300
Wait, no, wait,
years.
let me just throw this out. Would you guys be up for air, water, or some other type of means, an alternative besides any type of nuclear means, where we could actually produce more energy by water power, air
Yes,
power?
exactly. Yes, yes. Stop right there at water. Okay, if we did a full Manhattan project, let's make it as cheap as possible. Let's have small hydro all over the fucking place, and we didn't worry about every little stickle goddamn fish. Yeah, game on. Okay, in my opinion, that's the way to go. Gravity is great stuff. Okay, the thermal, the sun heats the oceans. It's a tremendous amount of solar energy, basically, that you're taking advantage of. Yeah, that's the way to go.
Fact. Gravity is an illusion.
It's not an illusion when the rain's falling down, baby.
New study confirms that gravity could be an illusion. New study.
Okay,
No,
throw
whatever.
yourself off
No,
Yosemite
whatever,
Half
whatever,
Dome and say gravity is just an illusion. We'll see how long that illusion lasts. Thank you.
Lord Tyrant, what are you speaking of? The theory of a holographic universe that we're testing with Hogan's holometer? Well, it doesn't say that gravity is an illusion. It says that gravity is a byproduct of light. And I mean, as been pointed out, if you want to test the theory that gravity is an illusion, go jump off a really tall building and see if you come out fine.
Well, gravity is just a side effect of something that we don't know.